wonderful day to everyone out there. This is welcoming you to Insightful Moment with Charity Amiyu. This show is going to be a political and current affair discussion. We are going to be discussing matters as they are, digging all sides. As you can see, we have people, politics, and policies. Those are the three things that we are going to be discussing. We are going to be bringing people at the people at the helms of affairs, traditional institutions, and every other people that will think that our opinion are very important and necessary to whatever topic that we are going to be discussing. Believe me, the majority of people that we are targeting here that will be the beneficiary of this show are the masses, the people on the street, the market women, the students, artisans on the street, and every other person, to ensure that at least we have their opinions, we are concerned about their well-being, and every other thing that has to do with their standard of living. Our topic today is digital media evolution in Nigeria, prospects and challenges. And to discuss, to do justice to that, is the chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Osun State Council, Comrade Kehinde Ayantunji, popularly called Kenny Asalatu. He's right away there in the studio. Let's go there. Yeah, welcome back. I have here with me a media guru, somebody who has been in the practice of media for over 2 decades now. He has served at the various level of Nigeria Union of Journalists, and now is the chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Osun State Council. Welcome, Comrade Kehinde Ayantunji.
Nice meeting you.
Today, we are going to be discussing the digital media evolution in the country. What has been the role, the prospects, and then the challenges. Comrade, sir, what is a digital media evolution in Nigeria?
Well, digital media evolution, not only in Nigeria, across the globe, is not a new phenomenon. It's an innovation that has been predicted for centuries. But from the media communication perspective, specifically, there was a scholar in 1962 who was so specific about media technology. The name of that scholar is Marshall McLuhan. In 1962, he was the one that propounded the theory that we know and understand as technological determinism. And the central idea of that theory is that in future, the entire world will become a mediated global village through technology. And that theorist who propounded that theory said technology will be the driver of the future of the world. And that's what we are experiencing today. And if you look at it strategically, we see that virtually every innovation always contend with its challenges. When there was innovation of printing, some people argue that printing will make people to be so lazy in memorizing ideas. When they also propounded the idea of writing, they said it will also make people to be so lazy in terms of, because there was a time that you have to memorize virtually everything. But one of the technology that has gained acceptance in media evolution is internet. And if you look at it strategically, it's not new. Every media evolution has its own challenges. In 1920, when we have radio, it was concluded at that time that radio will definitely displace newspaper. So at the time, we also have television, because television has the features of audio and visual. It was called magic, the global magic then, when we have television. And they also concluded that television will also displace radio. You understand? Having also concluded earlier that radio will also displace newspaper. But the beauty of it is that each of them competed within that environment, and within that paradigm they competed. But one evolution that is redefining media industry, economy, education, and virtually everything that has to do with human race is internet technology, which is new and latest. So it's redefining radio, it's redefining television, it's redefining newspaper industry, it's redefining human character. Because McLuhan said that as human being, when he proposed that theory, that we don't have free will as human being, that whatever technology provide is what we are going to use, and that's why today you cannot decide on your own that I will not use mobile phone. Because that is what technology and society are using. As of today, you cannot decide on your own that I want to trek from here to Ibadan, because we have vehicle. So that human being, we don't have free will. That whatever technology provide for us, and that's what we are using now. Whether you like it or not, you use mobile phone. Whether you like it or not, you read news on your phone, because you are going to read it at your comfort zone. You don't need to get to Gbemu or Oritolaya or Garage to buy newspaper before you read news. At comfort of your home, you watch YouTube, you watch news channels on your. So internet has really redefined media evolution. And look at that evolution from the printing to radio to television. Internet has been a landmark evolution in the history of the media.
Mr. Chairman, sir,
yeah.
Let's now look at it from the other perspective. The practice of digital media. Some people have seen it as a threat to the conventional, the traditional media that we all know. Is it really a threat?
Substantially, it's not a threat, except for those who does not understand the reality of media business and the future of media business. And that's why when you see some of the conventional newspaper, they are venturing into what we call multimedia now. You see them, you see their heavy presence online, despite having hard copy. You see some of them even producing short video on internet scripts. You understand? For those who understand the trajectory I just analyzed, you agree with me that the future of Nigerian media is digital media. It's a reality that a professional journalist must contend with. Yes, the argument for and against that digital media, housing by internet, will displace conventional media, especially the newspaper. But some are arguing that, well, newspaper will continue to survive as long as the issue of credibility, reliability is there, and that if they also have their own niches, because in developed world you have some newspaper that what they do is entertainment. That's their niche. So, and you cannot get best of entertainment except you buy a copy of that newspaper. We have some that what they do is sports. You cannot get the best of sports without so that their survivor may entirely rely on niches and credibility and reliability. But the reality is that the future of Nigerian media is digital media. That is where the world are trending towards. As of today, 85% of the youth across the globe are experiencing media exposure through digital media. Nigeria is now the 8th country in the world in terms of internet usage. And if you look at the analysis very well, you know that most of the people who are so present on the internet, they are youth. So vast majority of Nigeria are migrating towards digital media, and it is really affecting conventional newspaper industry. As of today, no newspaper is printing 100,000 copies, including the Punch, that appear to be the widest circulated newspaper in Nigeria. Whereas in 1975, when Nigerian population was less than 100 million, Daily Times alone was printing about 500,000 copies. Compared to when we now have over 200 million population. So if you do a very serious comparative analysis, you will know that digital media is really displacing the conventional media. It's not a threat to those who understand the future. The most important thing is that we must see it as a reality, we must see it as a future, and we must key into it and know how to maximize the opportunity provided by the internet.
Yes, sir. But we realize that we are now in the era of fake news here and there. Some people, when they want to come up with arguments against digital media, they will say it promotes fake news. Is fake news peculiar to digital media alone?
Well, the one of the problems that's associated with digital media is the problem of identity. And that is the comparative advantage that conventional media has over digital media. Let me say online media, because when you are saying digital media, both the conventional media and online media, there is what we call convergence now. And that convergence is that you see newspaper, they are adopting multimedia strategy. Yes. You understand? You see a Punch, they use video script on their site. You understand? Before you even read the hard copy, you read most of their news. So don't let me say digital media now is a multimedia. So it's not even peculiar to online media or social media. Okay. It's most of the radio stations that we have in Nigeria today, majority of them stream online.
Yes.
Because if you don't stream online, people will not have the opportunity of listening to your wave at their comfort zone. So I don't want us to narrow it down, to narrow digital media to online. So, but the point I want to make in respect of your question is that we have problem of identity when it's come to online. You have some of them, they don't even have any office that you can locate them. Most of their reporters don't have their identity. So the issue of credibility setting, and that is the comparative advantage that the conventional media, because in some of the conventional media, you know their offices, you know their reporters. They are not ghost reporters. You see them, you know them, you have their identity. So they can be sued, you can sue them, they can be arrested, they can be queried, they can be questioned. You understand? They can be contacted. You understand? To seek a redress on a particular story. But the issue we have is that most of the emerging social media owner, they are not demonstrating media responsibility. So that's the major problem.
On that point, I would like us to have a break. We'll continue in a moment. Please stay with us. The topic we are discussing is evolution of digital media, which has been broken down to online media by my guest. My guest once again is Comrade Kehinde Ayantunji. He's popularly called Comrade Kehinde Asalatu, the chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Osun State Council. Comrade, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sir, now we are in the period of coronavirus pandemic. Information is very, very necessary at the grassroots, at even the market women, people at the rural area. Everybody needs information now in order to to be safe. Sir, is there any role that this online media can play in ensuring that we all get proper information towards the containment of coronavirus pandemic?
Well, the stage we are now, according to the medical expert and the various task force, whether the presidential task force, the state task force, the stage we are now in the management of coronavirus pandemic is the stage of self-responsibility, and that self-responsibility never exclude the media. In fact, media is at the center, because the most important aspect of the management of this pandemic is enlightenment and education, because it is obvious that no country has capacity to contain the pandemic, especially when there is no specific vaccine for the treatment of pandemic. So media is at the center of advocacy, and the role that you are expected, whether you are into digital media, online media, conventional media, is to make sure that you circulate accurate, factual information with all responsibility, not information that will create anxiety, not information that will create fear, but information that will give people hope, that will console people, and that will give them necessary knowledge that they need for the prevention of the pandemic.
Sir, let's now talk about the challenges and the prospects. You know, whenever professional, there are some challenges that are associated with it. Practicing online media in Nigeria, are there challenges associated with it?
Yes, there are challenges. One of the major challenges is that in the first instance, the way we even migrated to the digital media in Nigeria is even faulty. We see it as a new innovation, and we jump into it without critical evaluation of the future and effect is going to have in the media business. And that's why today you see that not all online media are smiling to bank. Many rely solely on Google access funding, adverts. But if you look at it critically, we see that this money is not even coming as expected. If you have not jumped into the internet and digital media already, we will have designed a template that will make it a profit-oriented business. But as of today, yes, some are making it, and that's why we always encourage people that if you want to survive in this digital era, you have to be professional. And the only thing that can differentiate you from other people is content. Yes, we have some of our people today who practice online media and they are so exceptional. A particular example is Premium Times. Premium Times is one of the leading Nigerian newspaper that is even not only gaining confidence of Nigeria, gaining the confidence of the whole world when it comes to investigative journalism. These are clear examples of exceptional investment in digital media. But some have also chosen not to be responsible about it by becoming a paid agent of politicians, by sponsoring and promoting fake news, blackmails, and the rest. So there are various challenges, but the most important thing is that there must be quality knowledge about the rudiment of journalism. I always say it that there is something like fake news. News is news. Anything that has fall short of clear definition of news, accurate factual account of an event, is not news. So those are the challenges, and it's a profitable business. It's a business that has prospects, and it's the future of Nigeria media, as I've said it. But there must be constant education, training, and people must be responsible by being familiar with the extant laws that is guiding journalism profession, because media is a trust. Yes, it's business venture, but you must first consider the public interest, the responsibility to society, before you consider the profit you are going to make. So anything that falls short of that is unethical, is unacceptable, and it cannot be categorized as mass media.
Can you see? You can hear that. According to what he has said, anything that does not follow the real definition of news is not news. Yes, and he also said there is nothing like fake news. Comrade, sir, lastly, my question is about the perspective from the what should I call them? The public about the online media. They believe, some people believe that whatever you call bloggers, they just sit there at the corner of their room and just churn out whether unverified or anything, calumny, campaign of calumny, all those things. What is your advice to those people that are doing the online journalism in that line?
Well, I've said it earlier that the only thing that can differentiate any individual or organization in this digital media business is content. There is no way people will not have such perception. We have all manners of narratives today. Some will call themselves citizen journalism, some will call themselves bloggers, but some of us categorize them as information trafficker or information volunteer, that you just copy an information and post it. You copy a news from a site of a newspaper, you share it and redistribute it and portray it as your own original idea is criminal and fraudulent. So, and that is why, and these are the majority of the bloggers, the so-called bloggers that we have. There is no way the enlightened mind within the public will not still be exercising fear and anxiety about the so-called bloggers, about the so-called citizen journalists. But for those who have distinguished themselves in this profession, and I continue to mention the example of Premium Times, The Cable, among others. So there is no barrier, but just that if you say this is the business I want to choose, this is what I want to do, you must practice it the way they are practicing it, so that there will be public trust. People will not doubt the integrity of your media. They will not even doubt the integrity of the reporter. That is when your media can survive, and that is when your media can serve the true purpose of the media, which is to hold government accountable and adequately inform the government, inform the people, educate, entertain, you understand, and in most cases evaluate and assess government performance.
Yes, thank you so much. I has said it, you must ensure that he said that digital media is the future, and I think I've heard that one from him several times, and everybody must, whatever the case may be, we must embrace it, and we must know that it is never a threat to whatever profession you are practicing. He also said the media professionals must ensure that they are professional. They must ensure that whatever they are churning out to the public is authentic, and it can be verified anytime, any day. That is Comrade Kehinde Ayantunji, the chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Osun State Council. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for the time. Till next time when we come your way again with another fresh edition, with another topic and another guest. I am Jare Tiamiyu. Please follow us on our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, Insight Links TV, on our Facebook page, Insight Multilinks Media, our Instagram and Twitter, Insight_Links. Till some other time that will come your way, please ensure you stay safe.